and welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan, and if you're new here because you only came to my channel because you saw this video, I normally have vlogs out on Wednesdays or some type of lifestyle video. Every other Friday I post. I have faith videos, and I also normally do some type of cleaning video on Sundays. And I am adding in a new series to my channel for budgeting. I have gotten so deep into budgeting that I thought I might as well take you all on this journey with me. So, welcome to the journey, and I hope you all can stay on this journey with me. Maybe it'll inspire you guys to save for something, or purchase something, or become debt-free. I don't know, but I hope that you guys can enjoy this video and leave a like and a comment and find out what I'm doing. So this first video that I am doing is just setting up your budget, how I set up my budget and so forth. And then the next video is actually going to be finding your actual, how I found my actual numbers for my budgets. And then either within that video or within another video, I'm going to go over my actual numbers for March. So it's going to be on my March budget. And then I do also plan on having one more video about debt, which is going to go super duper in depth of how I plan on paying off my debt. Joining us. Oh, Bobby, hi. Hi, Bobby. You come be in the video. This is not helpful. Can you get down? Good boy. So let's start with my backstory. I currently work a part-time job where I'm barely making ends meet. I currently am only able to support myself, and I do live with my boyfriend, and it would be super helpful if I was able to help him with some bills. And him himself, we have a whole budget for him too, and I want to be able to contribute it and us do halves on a lot of things. So I recently got a full-time job, which I start very soon. By the time this series is ended on my channel, I will be working my full-time job. So a lot of this has to do with me getting that full-time job. I was able to really find money to put places and better my life and better my family's life, our two little doggies. So my financial goals and such are, I'm looking to purchase my first vehicle. I am 22 years old and I've never owned my own vehicle. I've always used somebody else's vehicle. Currently I drive a very, very old Subaru that so far my brakes have gone out on me on my way to work. Half the time it doesn't start. I think it has a junkyard motor, and I think we got it for $1,000. So the goal is for me to get a reliable vehicle that can get me to and from work, be able to visit my parents without forcing Timmy to come with me, because, you know, sometimes he wants to do other things on the weekend and drive 3 hours. It's 3 hours to get to my parents' house. So that is a big goal of mine. And then Timmy will be able to drive the Subaru until it basically dies and save a lot of miles on his truck, because we do travel quite a bit. So my next goal is a camera. I want to get a new camera, and that, for the most part, it is a very reasonable purchase. I'll be able to budget it in, purchase it very soon. So I'm very excited about that. And then I want to build my savings in my emergency fund. I had a pretty good savings and emergency fund built up, but then I was jobless for about 6 months, 5 or 6 months during the summer. So of course, you know, there's so much to do. And I really tried to help Timmy out during those months and not just be basically using him and only his money. So I spent a lot of that savings within those months, and I basically ran myself dry. by the time I got my next job. And like I said, it barely made ends meet, so I was often having to pull out of those savings already. So that is a big thing. I want to be able to build those up. I'm thinking 12 months worth in my savings, 6 months worth in my emergency fund. But that is a long time goal because we have to get a few things sorted out before we really focus on that savings. So let's get right into setting up your budget. So when it comes to a budget, you have to know your income, your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, and then what you want to do with that savings after all of those are met. And some people have savings and that's it. Some people have savings and emergency funds and sinking funds. Well, I'm about to be one of those people that have emergency fund, savings, and sinking funds, and so forth. So how you get all of these numbers is, first, you're going to want to be able to track your payments for a couple months, whether that means you go and you get your bank statements and you track that. If you have your banking app on your phone, you can just go through your banking app and, you know, find all your expenses. When I did it, I basically did all of the above because it wasn't just mine that I was doing, I was also doing Timmy's to help us figure out how we were going to split up some of these expenses. And it took a lot of time. It really did, I won't lie, but it's worth it. It's worth it to take a couple of days, you know, and really dive into this and figure it out. And yours might not be as complicated as mine was. You might not have as many expenses, or maybe you have more, but they're more detailed, and you can really just figure out where it's all coming from. And something else you might find by going through this is you might realize that you're paying for things that you didn't even know you were paying for. Me and Timmy found out we were paying for TV that we don't even have. So it's a good thing just to do in general. So even if you're not trying to, you know, go through a budget, go through those expenses and really look through them. So first, you're gonna have to take that income that you're getting. You have to figure out how much income are you getting every month. And then you have to find out all of those expenses. So I'm talking about your bills. I mean, you know, your rent, your phone bill, your entertainment like Spotify and Hulu and Netflix, and any of those random Apple subscriptions that you just can't live without. A car payment, a mortgage, all of those are bills that are your fixed expenses. Those don't really change. Maybe a student loan, that's a fixed expense. You have your minimum payment, that is your fixed payment. And then you have your variable expenses. So you're going to take those expenses, subtract that from your income, and then subtract your variable expenses. Your variable expenses is like food and takeout, and I have pet food in mine because we have to pay about $80 a month in pet food. You might also have gas money if you have a vehicle. Spending money definitely has to be in there, and I always recommend a cushion. This is something that I know I'm going to struggle with, but a lot of banks have a minimum fee, and you have to make sure that your bank account doesn't go under that minimum balance, or else you're going to get charged a fee. Some banks don't, and if your bank doesn't, that is the way to go, but some banks do, so it's always good to have a good amount of money just always in that account. But also, just in case you make an unexpected charge on your card, you don't want it to go over, you don't want to overdraft, so you always should have a cushion in there. So once you subtract all of those from your income, you're going to have your savings. And your savings, you want to make it so that all of your money has a home. So whether that's all of that money goes into your savings, or some money goes into your savings and your emergency fund and sinking funds, you want to make sure in the end everything equals 0. And then you have your budget. And you always want to, your income, you want to lowball it. If you sometimes make $2,000 a month, and that's your low point, but sometimes you make $5,000 a month. If you know you will at least make $2,000, that's your budget. All the rest of that money you can figure out when you get your payment stubs, your pay stubs, because you have to make sure that you're gonna make ends meet. So how I got the majority of my numbers were, I have 2 paychecks every month, right? So that's my income. My fixed expenses for myself are my student loans, my credit card payments, my entertainment, which is like Spotify and Hulu, Netflix, stuff like that, my phone bill, and car insurance. For me, I don't have a car insurance payment quite yet, but I do have to pay Timmy for the Subaru. So I'm going to be sending him money every month until I get my own vehicle. And then I have my variable expenses, which I don't pay rent to Timmy, but I do pay money into an account, and that account is money that we can spend for the house. Or come years from now when we decide to purchase our first house together, we'll have some money to put towards that. Then we have food or groceries, takeout or date night. Since we do travel quite a bit, sometimes it's hard to plan a meal for each and every day when we are going to be here this day and there this next day. So we do have to have a reasonable budget for takeout and date night. And then we have gas, pet food, spending, and cushion. So just like I said before. And those are my variable expenses. And then what is left over, I have to put somewhere. So for me, I have my camera sinking fund. Well, these are all sinking funds. So we have my camera, my car, pet, so like vet bills, birthday money, so I can pay for a birthday gift for a Timmy, Christmas money. I have a sinking fund called bulk, which is for when we go and we buy a bulk amount of food. Business money, so I do YouTube, and I have an Etsy shop, so I have to have some money saved here and there to be able to pay for the things that I use for those things, as along with supplies. And then insurance. So because I plan on purchasing a vehicle, I want to be able to pay that insurance, the 6 month or the year, so that I don't have to worry about it until the next. So we have to add money into that every month so that we know that we'll have enough money to pay that off. Because a lot of the times you can save hundreds, of dollars just by paying 6 months or a year, paying that in full, and then continuing that process. And then I do get a FABFITFUN box, and this year it really messed me over. I didn't realize that the payment was going to be coming out, and my account went negative for about 12 hours because I didn't realize it was going out that day. I thought it was going to go out in March. It came out in February, which once I looked into it, that was right. It was my own error, but I need to make sure that I have money to cover that come next year. So I have a little fund for that as well. And then savings, emergency, and debt. Debt doesn't really count because technically that debt would be going straight towards something as soon as I had that money. But it's just nice to see when I'm going through everything, like, oh, okay, so I have $450 left over and I want to find a place for that. And I already distributed it through all of my sinking funds, and I still have that money left over. So maybe I can send $200 to my savings, $50 to my emergency account, and that other $200 I can just put towards debt somewhere. So whether that's, your card payment, your mortgage, your student loans, your credit card, something along those bills, get that paid off. So those are my sinking funds. That's how I get my account or my budget to zero. So what my method is cashless. I'm choosing this method simply because I can't go to the bank every payday and pull out all kinds of cash. Not because I don't have the cash in my account, but because I only have an ATM access to my account, because my account is from a place, like, so my account is through somewhere where I used to live with my parents. And that branch, there isn't one within a vicinity, in the vicinity of where I live that's reasonable for me to go every 2 weeks and pull out that money. So we're gonna start with this. I don't want to go to an ATM because if I go to an ATM, I can't pull out the exact amount that I need. I might need 20 ones and, you know, 5 fives, but $100 worth of fives and so forth. You know, like, I just can't, you can't do that at an ATM very accurately. So we are gonna do it cashless for now, and maybe we'll have to go to cash envelopes, but hopefully not. Hopefully I can be controlled enough. And how am I gonna be tracking this throughout the month and figure this out and make sure that I'm staying within budget? So I start with a monthly budget. So I know what my expenses are every single month. I know how much I want to save every single month. I know how much I have to put into this account so that I can purchase my food, go to the store, buy my household needs, and pay my gas, and so forth. So I have to have that all figured out. So I have a budget for that. For that, I also have a paycheck tracker. So I have budgeted my 2 paychecks and how much they should be, and then what I expect to pay for each thing. So I have that all budgeted out per paycheck. So I know that all of my bills are going to be covered when they need to be covered. And then once I get that pay stub for that paycheck, I'm able to put that actual number in and then switch out all my numbers to be able to get to that proper number, but know that I'm at least meeting those numbers or so forth. And at the end of every month, or after the end of each paycheck, you know, track that, see how much we actually spent, roll over whatever money in those variable expenses are left over so that we can use that for the next paycheck, so that that whole month is covered with bills. And I also have in a calendar what payments have to go to which check, just so visually I can see that this and this need to go for this paycheck, and it's super easy for me to just go boom, 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 this much money needs to get taken out, put in this account, this account. That's just a visual thing. That's extra. I don't need to do that, but it is nice just to be able to see and know what's going on. However, if I'm going on a shopping spree and I'm going to the grocery store, I am getting lunch while I'm out, and I am purchasing some new outfits for work, and I also buy dog food. That's a whole lot of payments on my card, and if I'm going from store to store to store, I might not realize how much I spent. So I do in my purse have a tracker, which I can, it's basically as if you had an envelope in your purse with the cash in it, but instead I have how much money is in it, and then when I make a charge on my card, I write in where that charge was, what it was for, how much, and so forth. You know, find my new balance. Now that we know my new balance, if I go to the next store, I know blah, 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 blah. Therefore, if I get to $0 in there, I know I can't spend any more for that month, or I'm out of my budget. So that's it for this video. So in the next video, just so that we have a little cap, I am going to show you what my actual numbers look like. So this is going to be a little bit more rounded. I'm going to show you my actual expenses. I'm going to show you, my actual loan payments and phone bills and so forth, how much I plan on spending in my variables and my sinking funds, and kind of show you what my goals are for those sinking funds. And stay tuned because I'm going to go through my actual March budget. So what I actually get paid, which is very little. It's definitely more than enough to pay my bills. I actually got to pick up quite a bit of shifts this month, so my budget's a little bit more than it would have been normally. And I do start my new job this month. However, I'm going to show you what I did with that money and why it's not in my budget yet. So, stay tuned for all of that. If you want to watch those videos, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell if you're interested, and be notified when those videos go up. We should expect them on Friday, should be the next video for this series. Sunday is going to be a cleaning video. Monday is going to be video 3 of this series. Please stay tuned for all of that. And I will see you on Friday.